In the small gated neighborhood of Oakridge Hills, residents woke up one morning to find fresh asphalt being poured across a private road. Neighbors gathered, confused, as the HOA proudly announced the project was for everyone's benefit. But to one resident, Thomas, it was more than just a road. It was his private property. Thomas stood in disbelief as trucks rumbled across the path he had maintained for years. He had never been consulted, never been asked, and yet his land was taken over as if it belonged to the association. His words went unheard, drowned out by the hum of machinery and the HOA board's reassurances. At the next meeting, Thomas demanded an explanation. "This road was mine, legally documented," he said firmly. The board members exchanged glances but brushed off his concerns, insisting he should be grateful for the improvements. The room fell silent, but Thomas's anger was only beginning to rise. That night, as the neighborhood slept, Thomas paced his living room. He had been wronged, and no one seemed to care. Then an idea struck. If they could take something from him without asking, maybe he could remind them what it felt like to lose something precious too. The following morning, residents awoke to an eerie silence. Driveways that were once lined with shiny cars now stood empty. Every single vehicle in the HOA president's cul-de-sac had mysteriously vanished. Panic spread quickly as neighbors whispered, "What happened to our cars?" The HOA board scrambled, accusing outsiders, thieves, even rival neighborhoods. But Thomas appeared calm, watching from his porch. When confronted, he finally spoke. "Now you know what it feels like when something is taken without permission." His words cut deeper than any punishment could. Days later, the cars reappeared just as suddenly as they had vanished. No explanation, no trace of how it had been done. But the lesson remained. The HOA, humbled and shaken, approached Thomas with an apology. From that day on, no project began without unanimous consent, and the once divided neighborhood found a new respect for boundaries.